I've been crystal clear on this for many, many years. I do not think any provinces should be proactively, preemptively using the notwithstanding clause. What they're doing is suspending fundamental rights and freedoms and preventing the courts from even being able to weigh in on that. As a government, we will always stand up for people's fundamental rights and freedoms. We've committed that we are going to engage at the Supreme Court in the current case on C20 on Bill 21, and we're going to continue to look at the best ways to make sure that right across the country, every Canadian has their fundamental rights and freedoms protected.
I want to play that again, but I know that there's going to be some serious audio contrast issues between my mic, and I hope I'm on the right mic, and that is pathological psychopathy. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm a lawyer. That is pathological psychopathy, narcissism, borderline person, whatever you want to call it. It's clinical. It's clinical, and it's the type of gaslighting. I'm trying to find an analogy because I can't think of any analogy more egregious than having someone come up to you, slap you in the face, and as you recoil and put your hand on your red cheek and you say, "What the hell did you just do?" They sit there and say, "I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Your cheek was like that when I got here." I have to break this down, and I'll probably have to say what he's saying a little louder because this is pathological gaslighting. This is doing exactly what you are accusing others of doing, condemning others for doing exactly what you have done. Exactly. And you either rely on the victim. Get over here. You either rely on the victim to be so baffled by the sheer audacity of the gaslighting, or you rely on ignorant spectators who didn't just see you walk up to the person and slap them in the face. And so when everyone starts screaming, everyone's like, "What just happened? I didn't see it." And one person says he slapped me, and he says, I just got here. What do you say? You want to say hi? You're annoying. I don't know why you started so early. We're going to start this again after I put this thing down. I'll say what he's saying just in case you can't hear it.
I've been crystal clear on this for many, many years.
I've been crystal clear on this for many, many years. What does Viva say when someone says, "Let me be clear"? What's going to come out of their mouth more often than not is dishonest, misinformation, rubbish. What comes out of Justin Trudeau's mouth after this? Disinformation, rubbish.
I do not think any provinces should be proactively, preemptively using the notwithstanding clause.
The notwithstanding clause, section 33 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, provides that provinces, to protect themselves from the overarching authority of the Supreme Court of Canada, can specifically enact legislation that specifically violates certain provisions of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Not all. There are some rights that cannot be abrogated, even by virtue of the notwithstanding clause, but others can. Linguistic rights can be usurped under section 33. I'm trying to think of other ones. You could be ordered to work or go back to work. Certain provisions of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, those guaranteed God-given rights, can be violated if they're specifically violated by a specific provision of law that the government says we are specifically violating, or we're enacting legislation notwithstanding certain provisions. There are certain requirements. It can't last longer than 5 years. The idea being that there will be a new election, and if a government invokes this clause abusively, they'll get voted out of office. That's section 33.
What we're doing is suspending fundamental rights and freedoms and preventing the courts from even being able to weigh in on that.
What they are doing is they are suspending certain fundamental rights and freedoms. What did he say here? And preventing the courts from being able to weigh in on that?
Even being able to weigh, and preventing the courts from even being able to weigh in on that.
This is beyond offensive, and it's beyond shocking, and it's beyond nauseating. This is it's not Alinsky's rules of radicals, accuse others of what you are doing to create confusion. It was actually attributed to Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda minister. Accuse your enemy of doing what you are doing so as to create confusion. I don't think it's one of Alinsky's rules for radicals. In fact, I'm certain it's not, and people oftentimes mistake it for that. Justin Trudeau is accusing the provinces of usurping fundamental rights and freedoms and then preventing the courts from adjudicating on that. What did Justin Trudeau just do? The notwithstanding clause it's analogous to the Emergencies Act because you're invoking legislation that violates or usurps fundamental rights and liberties. What did Justin Trudeau do when he invoked the Emergencies Act? He violated fundamental rights and liberties. What did Justin Trudeau do when he enacted the mandate that unvaccinated Canadians can't board planes and trains to travel across a country that's nearly 4,500 kilometers across? He violated fundamental rights and liberties. He basically said to Canadians 13 years and older, you're second-class trash citizens. You don't get on the planes and trains with us. You're not going to put at risk our kids. You want to go cross-country for a funeral? Drive. Suck it up. You racist, misogynist, anti-vaxxer, anti-science. Suck it up and drive. Oh, don't have a car? Too bad. You're going to miss that funeral. You're going to miss that wedding. You're going to miss that graduation. He violated fundamental rights and freedoms of Canadians with that particular provision, the ban on unvaccinated children from boarding planes and trains. And what did he do? When Brian Peckford challenged that and took it to the federal court, what did he do in the interim? Rescinded that unconstitutional, unconscionable, inhumane provision, and then said, no controversy anymore. I rescinded. They didn't even rescind it, by the way. They suspended it. We're suspending that violation of human rights. And now you have no court case. And what did they do? They moved the court for a motion to dismiss for mootness. And what did the court do? Granted it. What did Justin Trudeau do? That pathological, narcissistic, gaslighting psychopath. He violated fundamental rights and freedoms. And then he basically and effectively deprived the citizens of their ability to even challenge those provisions in courts because he suspended the provision and then moved to dismiss, and the court dismissed the lawsuit. And now he's lecturing provinces. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And now he has the audacity to lecture and criticize provinces for doing exactly what he actually did. I'm just going to see if I just got to text, make sure my dad's not texting me to tell me to calm down. And the government declared it moot. Oh, what's that? Hey, if he does it again, come back to court. Oh, what's that? You've been in court for 9 months? You've racked up $150,000 in legal fees, Peckford? Oh, too bad, Buttercup. That's democracy. That's Canadian democracy for you. I don't feel better. I actually am still quite frustrated with this. All right, let me go see that we are live on Rumble.